Comanche Nation tribal member, Cameron University music major, and drummer Edward Eddie Clark will be inducted into the Oklahoma Blues Hall of Fame on Saturday, May 25th in Rentiesville, Oklahoma. He said it was unexpected that a friend brought it up with Selby Minner, who puts on the event. Clark was then asked to send a promo package.
It's something that I've been doing all my life, playing blues and jazz, playing the drums. It's nice to be recognized by the state of Oklahoma in this regard.
He said his love of music began early when he grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma, and music was always playing.
I'm the youngest out of 11, so we had all kinds of music happening from all my older brothers and sisters, even my parents. We had great radio stations here. We had KOMA from Oklahoma City, and late at night, back in the 60s, we were able to get up radio stations all the way from Chicago, WLS in Chicago, and they played a lot of blues and a lot of rhythm and blues. And I just remember hearing the music from so far away, and it sounded spooky and kind of scary, but I liked it.
Clark said he's been playing music since the age of 16 and was in a band from Southern California with William Clark in the 1980s.
He was blues harmonica, just steeped into the blues. You couldn't find any more steeped into the bluesman than William Clark. And we played together. Steve, his name is Steve Kilman. We played together in the William Clark band. Steve was on guitar, of course myself on the drums, and things were going great.
He said landing on a record label was one of his big highlights with the William Clark Band.
We toured all over the nation, back and forth across the United States and into Europe. And the highlight of all that work with William Clark, recording hours and hours in the studio with him, we landed on Alligator Records in Chicago, Illinois. It's the largest blues label that I know of in Los Angeles. They have the great Christone Kingfish, who won a Grammy, and they also have Bobby Rush, who also won Grammy. So Alligator is known for Grammy Award-winning music.
The band would win W.C. Handy Awards for the first albums that appeared on Alligator Records.
In the span of time, I also worked with the great late Floyd Dixon, Texas blues piano. He wrote a hit song called Hey Bartender, which was picked up by even country artists like Johnny Lee and many other blues artists. So I was fortunate enough to record with Floyd Dixon that also landed on Alligator Records.
After the death of William Clark, Clark would work with harmonica player Lester Butler.
And he had a group called 13. It was called 13 featuring Lester Butler. And unfortunately, he also passed away in May of '98. But in '97 is when he called me around July, and we worked non-stop from July right up to when he passed. I went to Europe so many times. I filled up 2 passports. We spent about 6 to 7 weeks in Europe on our first European tour. And we visited Moscow, Russia for 2 weeks. So that was an interesting experience, being in Moscow, Russia for 2 weeks and playing to some very, very diehard fans. They loved music, American music and the blues and the roots type sound. We had a great audiences.
He is currently a junior in music performance. Clark hopes younger generations and Native Americans will get into music. Reporting for the Comanche Nation PIO News, Natasha Mercadante.